What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. This is the first episode of the Mike and Ant podcast for 2026. I'm your host, Expected Ann, with my co host, My Miz. What's good?
Chilling, my brother. Ready for the last week of football so we can get into these playoffs.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. I'm excited about the playoffs starting, but I'm also sad that we only got 6 weeks left of football and it's over with.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
All right, but we'll start off. There's with the game, one of the games of the day, and that is the Panthers 8-8 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-9.
This
Um,
division.
yeah, for the division. But the Atlanta Falcons winning on Monday night, they pretty much fucked this whole thing up. So basically, if Tampa Bay wins, they'll be 8-9. Carolina will be 8-9. But if Atlanta beats New Orleans, all three teams will be 8-9. If all three teams are 8-9, the tiebreaker amongst the three teams will go to Carolina because Carolina swept Atlanta while Tampa Bay split 1-1 with Atlanta. So even if Tampa Bay wins, they could still lose the division depending on what happens to Atlanta. If Carolina wins, they win the division outright. They don't need no help.
Well, at least Atlanta ain't getting in the playoffs,
Now, but they could stop Tampa Bay from getting in the playoffs.
and they probably will. But we'll see how it goes. We did pick the Panthers as our sleeper, anyways.
But so yes, Carolina 8-8, Tampa Bay 7-9. Tampa Bay has lost 4 games in a row, but they are 3-point favorites to beat the Panthers at home. I mean, even though Carolina beat Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago, but what's your thoughts? Who wins the NFC South, Carolina or Tampa?
Um, I think Tampa wins the game. I'm gonna leave. I think they lose the division. So that now I'll tell you now. So I think Tampa wins, but I think Atlanta also wins. So I think Carolina ends up winning the division, but I do believe Tampa will win the game and cover.
And I know Tampa's like Baker somewhere. So how come the Rams just couldn't do me this one favor?
Yeah.
Just beat the Falcons, and all we had to do was just win this one game. Now we have to win this one game and need extra shit to happen.
Little did they know. I just realized why the Rams threw that game.
It
Bye,
makes sense
Baker.
for the Rams.
Bye.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Rams to throw that game because we wanted a better draft pick.
I don't know, man. We might also not want to play Tampa in the playoffs if they get hot. So I'm just saying they could put up points. With them getting healthy right now, I don't know. Might have been nice to just let them, go home and enjoy Cancun.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you. I
I'll
think
tell you about wherever they going. Mm.
I think no, actually, I think Carolina they win this outright. Tampa Bay, I don't know what's going on.
Yes,
I mean, they're healthy, but they're still losing, and I just don't see them winning this game. I think
the,
Carolina pulls it out.
the
I
coach
think
called out Baker too. Did you see that?
Yeah, and there's rumors that he might get fired too. So I really don't know, but how this team fell off, they were 5-1, and then for them to drop to where they are now, 7-9, they've lost 8 of the last 10 games.
Yeah.
Something ain't right, and I don't know if it's the quarterback, I don't know if it's the coach, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I still don't believe Baker's healthy. But
He's been dealing with that shoulder injury ever since the Rams game.
yeah, with your coach calling you out just smells like desperation. Like the coach knows he's getting fired. And he's begging for you to do more than you can right now. But that could just be me.
Or either that, the coach is saying like, "Hey, don't blame me, it's Baker's fault." Like
Especially when he's working with 1.5 arms right now.
that shit worked for Stefanski, so both say, "Hey, it might work for me too."
Good luck.
I'm not just trying to walk up in here. But yeah, but as far as for the game, I think Carolina they win it. I think obviously they're gonna cover the 3 points, but I think they win it and they win the South. They don't need help from Atlanta.
Alright, well, I guess this would be a good time to plug in the sponsor because the Buccaneers may need a little bit of energy to get through the last game of the season if they have any hope. What are you thinking?
Well, I was gonna say I need the sponsor for the Philadelphia Eagles, but uh,
Well, yeah, needs a spot.
The Buccaneers, they might need some energy, but they also need to make sure that the Falcons don't have no energy.
I hear you on that, but the Eagles' offense don't have no energy in general. But
Nah, we'll talk about them later.
maybe we'll send them a couple containers of some W.
Yeah, everybody was saying that that game last week between the Eagles and the Bills was the preview of the Super Bowl, and I'm like, that's the preview of the Super Bowl. I don't want it.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm not watching if that's the Super Bowl. Goddamn.
Ain't nobody want to see no 13-12 game in the Super
My
Bowl.
guy didn't complete one pass in the second half.
The Eagles had 17 yards of offense in the entire second half. That's why AJ Brown was looking at the coach crazy when he was talking shit after the game.
Yep.
Like, AJ Brown's like, bro, calm your ass down. He has 17 yards of offense.
Yeah, you can't be happy with that, man. You cannot be happy with that.
What the fuck we do?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, before I get too caught up on Sirianni, I'll move on to the most important game of the NFC. We have the Seattle Seahawks 13-3 at the San Francisco 49ers 12-4. This game is important for two reasons. The winner of this game wins the NFC West, and also too, the winner of this game will have home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. And as I mentioned last week, Seattle, their history shows that if they have the number one seed, they go to the Super Bowl. They had the number one seed in '05, went to the Super Bowl. They had the number one seed in 13, went to the Super Bowl. Had the number one seed in 14, went to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens this year. And then for the Niners, I think they want the number one seed for two reasons. Number one, they don't have to leave San Francisco because they get the stay at home for the whole entire playoffs, including the Super Bowl. And then number two, they have so many injuries. I think they could use the bye week to kind of get healthy. But the Seattle Seahawks surprisingly are 1.5 point favorites on the road to beat the Niners. And I'll say I think the Niners win this game. Obviously, they cover the 1.5. I just like San Francisco better than Seattle. One of the things that people are not talking about is that Sam Darnold leads the NFL in turnovers. No, the worst thing that happened to Sam Darnold is that Geno Smith missed that one game. So Sam Darnold now leads the league in turnovers. And that's not a good recipe because it might not only might cost them in this game,
Yep.
but even in the playoffs. But I just think the Niners win. They might cause some turnovers here and there. I still don't trust Sam Darnold in big games. I trust Brock Purdy more, so I got the Niners winning this game and the division and getting the number one seed.
Yep. Um, gonna agree with you. I got Niners winning by double digits. How about that?
Oh,
Like I think the Niners have looked pretty much unstoppable the past few weeks. I don't trust Sam Donald. JSN has not their connection hasn't been the same. The past he's putting up 70, 90 yards somewhere around that range. Um, it hasn't been the same as it was, say, the middle of the season where he was going for over 100 like every time he got a drink of water, So
Sam
that's
Darnold was terrible last week against the Panthers. It was their
yeah,
defense that won that game for him.
yeah. But I think the Niners are too much. I think the Seattle rode a high all season, and they're leading into probably going to be the most likely one and done team in the playoffs. I think the Niners that I'll double down. If the Niners do win this game, I think there's only one team that could beat them at home. Would be the Rams. I think if it's not the Rams, they coast on along to the Super Bowl.
Well, we got to get past Philly first.
Yeah. No, no, I'm not saying that we do. What I'm saying is, if it's not the Rams going to see them, I don't think there's many teams. I don't think there's any teams in the NFC that can beat them at home. Not the way they've looked the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Chicago came close. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a tough team to beat at home. I think maybe the Rams are the only team.
Yeah. I mean, think of it like this: Purdy gave spotted them for 7 touchdowns, and the Bears still struggled in that game.
Yeah, he spotted them first
Spotted
play.
them first play of the game. So I don't know. Yeah, if Purdy's getting 5 touchdowns, whether it's passing or 3 passing, 2 running, if he's accumulating 5 touchdowns, they're gonna be very hard to beat.
He got the Niners doing the Dougie like it's 2010.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Niners win this game. They win the division. They get the number one seed. The Seattle Seahawks they'll drop to the 5 seed, which means they get the winner of Carolina, Tampa Bay.
It's a good matchup for them.
Yeah, I think whoever's the 5 seed, actually, one of these teams are going to be the 5 seed. One of these teams is going to be the one
I
seed.
think their last
Yeah,
game versus when their last game versus Carolina, 1916 or something like that.
you mean the Niners?
No, the Seahawks.
Um,
I think they won 1916 a couple weeks ago, so that'd be a good rematch. Interesting for a first round
yeah,
playoff.
they just played last week. What was the score? No, the Panthers won 27-10.
Oh, that's what it was. No, the Seahawks one, right?
I mean, yeah, the Seahawks beat the Panthers
Seahawks.
27-10.
What
That's
I,
what I'm saying though. Sam Darnold only had 140 yards passing though. It was really his defense.
well, either way, that'd be a good matchup in the first round. That might be the only team the Seattle Seahawks can beat in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't think like whoever wins this game, I don't think they'll be one and done because the loser has to play the winner of the NFC South, and I think either one of these teams could beat whoever comes out of the NFC South.
Fair assessment.
All right, so that's enough of that. We both got the Niners winning the West and getting the number one seed.
Yep.
So next we have the Battle of Ohio, and the Battle of Ohio. It reminds me of Friday when Smokey told Craig, "Y'all ain't never have two things that match. Y'all got Kool Aid, no sugar. You got peanut butter, no jelly." And that's these two teams. Like Cleveland have a defense, no offense. Cincinnati has an offense, no defense. Neither team has two things that match, but the Battle of Ohio with the Cleveland Browns 4-12 versus Cincinnati Bengals 6-10. Bengals 7.5 point favorites. I'll be quick. I think Cincinnati they win this game and they cover. The only drama in this game is will Miles Garrett get the sack record? Miles Garrett felt like Pittsburgh did everything in their power not to get him that record. Joe Burrow says he doesn't care if he gets it or not. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know. And if he don't get it, we're gonna come back to his man's the ultimate hater. And they're gonna
Yeah,
he's gonna have
game where he should have got.
he's gonna have a documentary on him one day if Garrett doesn't get this sack record. You better make sure he does it. Ultimate hater, it's dropping. But yeah, I'll be fast with this. I got the Bengals covered.
All right. So next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys 7-8-1 at the New York Giants 3-13. The Cowboys are 3.5 point favorites. There was rumors that Dak was not going to play. They were going to rest him, but Dak said he wants to play, and I think he will play. I'm going to be quick. I think the Cowboys they win this game, but I think the Giants cover. I don't think the Cowboys blow them out.
I match you. We can move forward. That's basically what I was gonna say.
All right, and then we have the Green Bay Packers 9-6-1 at the Minnesota Vikings 8-8. Green Bay 7.5 point favorites. The big news for them is they got Trayvon Diggs yesterday
Yeah.
after the Cowboys shocked everybody and cut him. Um, Real quickly though, let me see if Jordan Love is playing. But even without Jordan Love, I still have the Packers winning this game and covering. I think they could win this game with Malik Willis.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good over there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jordan Love has cleared a concussion protocol, but he will not start. Malik Willis is not going to start. It's going to be QB3 Clayton Tune, who I've never heard of before.
yeah,
Right now,
interesting prospect. Um, who's starting for the Vikings? I guess would be my question. Is it their third string as well?
yeah, I think. Let me see. No, JJ McCarthy.
I'll put it like this. I'm assuming the Packers must not need this game. I'm gonna take the Vikings to win the last game of the season with JJ over if Willis ain't started.
Yeah, the Packers they are stuck at at the 7th seed. They can't move up, so we
Or
could
move down, right?
potentially see. Yeah, they're the 7th seed, so we could potentially see a Packers Bears in the first round.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with Vikings to win this game.
Yeah, well, since the QB3 starting for Green Bay, I'm going to change my pick, and I have Minnesota winning this game.
Yeah, I thought.
Actually, I should have known that, seeing that Minnesota's 7.5 point favorites. That should have told me that Green Bay ain't playing nobody.
Yeah, Minnesota's favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't got them covering, even with the third stringer. Let me just make sure I put that out there. But yeah, I got them winning the game.
yeah, I got Minnesota winning, but I think Green Bay will cover the seven and a half.
How about this though? And I know he hasn't played like it the past few years, and you kind of picked. We talked about this when they paid that the other cornerback over there. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh,
Uh,
you talking about Deron Bland?
yeah, Bland, right? Um,
It's on
but
IR, by the way.
yeah, but to cut Diggs before the playoffs kind of pissed me off. That I mean, the odds of you giving two players that you had nicknames for a couple years ago, two-year rival in the same year, is actually pretty hilarious. I don't know if as a
Yeah, it was fucked up too. Is that the Dick said the only reason why Green Bay signed him was because Michael Parsons told him to pick him up.
yeah, 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 because he knows his potential, and he went to bat for him when they picked him up, and
Yeah,
they paid a lot of money to pick him up. I thought he'd clear. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because 500,000 for a game is kind of crazy.
well, yeah, and now he gets to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, but he got 500,000 for this last game, is what they was on the books for. So they basically gave him a $500,000 for that. And then there's if he plays this week, I think there's a little bit more incentive, but they had to give him that last game check. That's what I think Dallas didn't want to give him. But I don't know, man. Dallas, out of all the good moves they made this year, somebody would have gave you something for Diggs. You should have just held him to the offseason. Like it didn't make no sense for him to get cut then. But I'm not gonna dwell on it. You could skeet past that.
Well, yeah, I mean we both got Minnesota winning this game.
Yeah.
All right, so then we have the Indianapolis Colts 8-8 at the Houston Texans 11-5. Philip Rivers announced his retirement yesterday, so that means he's not going to play. They're going to go with Riley Leonard, the rookie, and I still don't know why they won't play Anthony Richardson. They're going to play Leonard instead, and they play the Houston Texans. Houston's 10.5 point favorites. This is an important game for Houston because if Houston wins and Jacksonville loses,
Yep.
Houston wins the division. Jacksonville will drop to the 5 seed, and then Houston will move up to, I believe, number 3 to the 3 seed. And so Houston's 10.5 point favorites. I think Houston wins this game, and I think they cover.
A matchup. I got Houston covering.
All right. And then the game we were just talking about earlier, we'll get more in depth this time. We have the New Orleans Saints 6-10 at the Atlanta Falcons 7-9. New Orleans on a 4 game winning streak. Tyler Shook,
Shook.
he's now the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's been
He's not
balling
shook.
out.
He's not shook. He's not shook, man.
Now he's not. And I think the Saints they got their quarterback, so they can use that draft pick for something else to kind of build around him. As
Good
far
for
as
him.
Atlanta, they picked the wrong time to go on a 4 game winning streak because they've heard that draft pick. Instead of it being a top 10 pick, it's now going to be like 16 or 17 now.
Yeah, terrible.
But the Falcons are 3.5 point favorites, as we mentioned. If Atlanta wins and Tampa Bay win, if Atlanta wins this game and Tampa Bay wins on Saturday, that means all 3 teams, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta, will finish 8-9. And if that happens, Carolina wins the division because Carolina swept Atlanta while Tampa Bay and Atlanta split 1-1. So that gives the edge to Carolina and they will win the South. If Atlanta loses and Tampa Bay wins, and Tampa Bay wins the South. So everything for Tampa Bay, they have to win, and then they have to everything revolves around Atlanta. If Atlanta wants to fuck this up, they could beat New Orleans, or if they just want to hand it to Tampa Bay, then New Orleans gets to win. So who you got? Falcons, Saints.
What's the spread?
Atlanta 3.5.
I got Atlanta winning and covering. Actually, you know what? I got Atlanta winning by 3 and not covering.
I was gonna say the same thing. I got Atlanta winning, but I think New Orleans covers because down south, this is the rivalry. Everybody talks about Packers, Bears,
Yeah,
Patriots, Jets, Rams, Niners, Giants, Eagles, but down south, it's Saints, Falcons. So I know the Saints, they're gonna come ready to play. They ain't trying to lose to Atlanta. These both teams could be 1-15 right now. It
for
wouldn't
real.
matter. They're gonna beat the shit out of each other. So I think Atlanta wins, and I think New Orleans covers.
Agree.
All right, then we have the Tennessee Titans 3-13 at the Jacksonville Jaguars 12-4. Jacksonville again, if they win this game, they win the AFC South. And if also too, if Jacksonville wins and both New England and Denver loses, Jacksonville will get the 1 seed in the entire AFC as the Jaguars right now are having their best season since 2007. The most wins they've had since 2007. As they're 12-4 right now. So the Jags are 13.5 point favorites. I'll be quick. I think Jacksonville covers. I think they go on the end of the season on an 8 game winning streak. And I think they win the AFC South.
I got Jacksonville winning, not covering. It's been impressive what they did though. With I mean, they none of these wide receivers have been in the carousel all year. Like this one's injured, this one's injured, this one's injured. Um, they somehow just kept it. I mean, strange too. So they've lost top tight ends, top wide receivers, and they've kept it consistent. I do believe this is a trap game. Titans defense might want one. 13 games is a lot of games to win, so it wouldn't surprise me if they found a way to drop this. But I do got them winning and not covering.
Yeah, I mean, you got them winning too, but I just think they'll win, and I think they'll cover only because like they want to win this division really bad. They're not trying to go on the road for the playoffs,
Yeah,
and I think they're gonna try to like to do with the Jets is try to end it early.
yeah.
And to your point, I think the reason why the turnaround and why they're on this 7 game winning streak, I think a lot of it too has to be Trevor Lawrence. Like we've been waiting for him to look generational, and during this 7 game winning streak, he's starting to look generational. He's starting to do all the things that we saw him do when he was in college.
I double down. He's learned how to do the easy things, which is one of the problems he was having before. Take the easy throws, take the dump downs, don't force anything. I'd say he's growing upstairs. This is more we're seeing that he's developed in the IQ department. He's starting to realize he doesn't always got to do amazing stuff. You got to take the easy stuff too.
You think it's the offense? Liam Cohn coming from the Rams, who's now running playing that Sean McVay Rams offense. You think that's helped him?
Could be, getting guys more space, stuff like that. Could also just be the confidence of the coach believing in him enough to, maybe how they do their meetings. I don't know how they sit down and construct stuff. They might just have a better relationship. Or maybe Trevor's just found that gear. He was supposed to be special. So maybe he just found it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, some people are late bloomers. I mean, this is only his 5th year.
Yeah.
It took him 5 years, which back in the day that was kind of normal for a quarterback. Year 5 kind of get it all together. I think
I'm
nowadays
sure he had
everybody's so impatient that if you don't get it together by year 1, they just automatically a bust.
yep, and he's had a few different coordinators as well. So it's not like
You
he's at the same.
know, three coaches in 5 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, right when he starts getting warmed up, he's got to switch. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see he got it together. I do believe this is still a trap game, just because it's a division game. But I think the Jags will win now.
All right. We both got the Jags win the AFC South. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals 3-13 at the LA Rams 11-5. The Rams, they're pretty much stuck at the 6th seed right now. They can't really this game really doesn't mean anything. But I do think Sean McVay was pissed off about what happened Monday night because he said that the starters are playing. So the Rams are 7.5 point favorites. As for Arizona, there's rumors that their coach Jonathan Gannon could be fired after this game, after a disappointing season, as they got to try to figure out what the hell they're gonna do with Kyler Murray. But I'll be quick. I got the Rams winning this game, and I have them covering the 7.5. I think Sean McVay's probably torn their ass this whole week, and they're gonna come out ready to play, and they're gonna take it out on Arizona.
I agree with that.
And as far as Jonathan Gannon, you think Arizona should keep him for one more year or fire him?
Um, you said as far as who?
Jonathan Gannon, the coach of the Cardinals, there's rumors that he might get fired after this game. So you think the
I don't know.
Cardinals keep him or
Yeah, well, it depends the direction you're going. Because if he was brought to work with Kyler and they know they're getting rid of Kyler, I'm pretty sure Kyler's not coming back. We called that at the beginning of the year, so I would say, yeah, move on.
from both the coach and the quarterback?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm with you. Like the rumor was they tried to trade Kyler during the deadline. Nobody wanted him. I'm pretty sure they're either gonna try to trade him again or cut him.
they
And
know
they're
he's going to get cut. Nobody's going to pay that contract.
yeah, so I'm saying they're probably gonna have to cut him. If they really want to get rid of him, they're gonna have to cut him.
Or if
And
they,
he
or if they want to pick, they're going to have to pay him, which means that a team might give you a pick if you're going to pay the contract.
yeah,
So
kind of like what Denver did when they traded Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Like Denver paid the contract, but he played for Pittsburgh.
It's also what Atlanta wouldn't do this year, which is why Kirk Cousins got stuck there.
Yeah.
So it depends the team you see. It's a slippery slope, but it can happen if they wanted to.
Well, to me, it's just how bad does Arizona want to get rid of him? But
Yep.
if they do get rid of Kyler, I imagine you want to bring in a new coach, let that new coach pick his quarterback,
Yep. I'd agree.
or they could just stick it out with Jacoby Brissett for one more year, and then they can get somebody in 2027 because 2027 is supposed to be better quarterback class than this year. This year it just seems to be one guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be going to Vegas.
I'd say that'd probably be the better decision.
Stick with Jacoby Brissett for one more year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, for this game, who you got? Rams
I got the
covering.
Rams covering.
All right. And you how you like Sean McVay playing the starters? Or you think he should sit him since we can't move up?
I mean, he doesn't want to go into the NFL with the momentum they don't have. So
Right.
yeah, he's got to. I'm sure if they jump on the Cardinals 28 nothing, they'll probably be out in the second quarter. But he's trying to go out on a strong note and then get his starters back. So I see what he's doing here. You don't want to go out there with your backups, have a lazy last game of the season walking into the playoffs. It'd be dumb.
Yeah, well, you don't want to walk into the playoffs on a three-game losing streak.
Hmm.
All right, and then for the next game, we have the Chicago. Excuse me, the Detroit Lions 8-8 at the Chicago Bears 11-5. If the Bears win, they're the number two seed. Even if the Bears lose, they can still clinch the number two seed, depending on what happens with Philly. Excuse me. The Lions, they are a disappointment. They've lost three games in a row. They are eliminated from the playoffs after that shit show they put on Christmas Day, even though it was the highest rated NFL game ever on Christmas. But yeah, the Lions, they just put on a shit show. Lions fans have turned on Jared Goff. You've seen Lions fans online saying that they should trade Jared Goff. But to me, I think the blame has to go to Dan Campbell. With the Lions were 5-3 in first place in their division, and then Dan Campbell, for whatever reason, decided he wanted to call plays. And ever since
Hmm.
he started calling plays, the team's
Talk
gone
about it.
3-5, and they're now in last place in the division.
Talk about it.
So, and I said it in real time. This ain't no like hindsight 2020. I said in real time. He overreacted to something. I don't know what it was, but the Lions at the time had a top five offense. Didn't make sense for him to take over play calling. And since he
Yeah.
took over play calling, the team's 3-5, last place in the division, and
Uh,
they look terrible.
yep.
So as far as for this game, I think Ben Johnson gets his revenge. Last time they played in week two, the Lions hung a 50 burger on them. I think the Bears are a much better team than what they were back in September. I think they win this game. They clinch the two seed. And yeah, the Lions are gonna end the season on a four-game losing streak, I think.
Yep. What's the spread?
The spread is Bears by 3.
I got the Bears covering. I got the Bears winning by at least a tub. So yeah, I say Ben Johnson's team gets his revenge during this game, and the Bears put a nice little beating on the Lions to end the season.
What do you think the Lions should do this offseason to get back
Fire
to
their coach. I think they should fire their coach. I think he's holding them back. I think it's him.
I
That's
think
my opinion.
him not he's cost his team just by not taking points this year.
I think like this was someone like for example, he doesn't learn from his mistakes going on fourth down. So now there's players that don't seem to look like they're learning from their mistakes. You can't set an example when you're not doing it. So he's the problem right now. That's why he fired the offensive coordinator. He tried to find a scapegoat. But the problem is you've lost probably two handfuls of games because you want to go for it in positions where you don't have to go for it. Like where it's super unnecessary. Right. So
Well,
I
yeah, but not only that, but like you could argue his play calling it hasn't been much better.
yeah, I
Like the
play
Lions were a top five offense. I don't know what they are ranked now, but the offense wasn't the problem.
yeah. And golf's not the problem now. It's their coach.
Yeah, I agree. It might be a situation, and I said this before, like Tampa Bay back in the day where they felt like, Tony Dungy took us as far as we can go.
Yeah,
They felt like he was holding them back. They made a trade for John Gruden, which is rare. It's very rare you see coaches get traded.
yeah,
They traded for John Gruden, and that very next year they won the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Could be the same thing the Lions might have to do.
If I'm feeling like this and I'm not a Lions fan, I know how they're feeling over there. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, but yeah, I'm with you though. I think the Bears win, and I think they cover the 3. All right, and then the next game we have the Kansas City Chiefs 6-10 at the Las Vegas Raiders 2-14. Real quickly, I want to congratulate the Raiders on getting the number one pick. Geno Smith, he was like, "Coach, I got you." He threw three interceptions last week. One of them he threw in triple coverage.
Hold it,
They
say it now, say it now. Hold my bear moment of the week.
hold my beer. He said, "Hey, y'all want that number one pick? I got you."
Yeah,
But the Raiders, though, they did piss off Max Crosby because they tried to shut down Max Crosby.
yeah,
Max Crosby knew, like, okay, we tanking. He was not happy about it, and now he wants to be traded. So we'll see what happens with that in the offseason.
yeah.
And despite the fact that the Chiefs are starting their third string quarterback, they are 5.5 point favorites in Vegas. I'll be quick. I think Vegas, they're a full tank. Even though I don't understand why Geno Smith is helping them tank, saying that they're trying to draft a guy to replace him. But I think the Chiefs, they win this game, they end their losing streak, and they cover.
Yeah, I got the same thing. The Raiders is beyond bad. They ended up being the worst team, and Chat GPT actually was onto something when they said the
Yeah,
Raiders
the
were the worst
worst
team
team.
in
Yeah,
the
it was right.
yeah, they
And it
were
was funny, but what's funny about last week's game though, between the Raiders and the Giants was how online how pissed off Giants fans were about winning because they wanted the number one pick. But then you have Raiders fans that are happy about losing. It's
I
like,
also see Giants fans wanting to trade Dot to draft Mendoza. Like,
yeah,
what?
I seen that too.
What? Listen, if right when I seen that, if I was less, I was like, yo, Sean, ain't that the kid you wanted? I got you. Probably get him for like a fourth right now.
But the
Fourth round.
GM said that Dart's not going anywhere. But yeah, Giants fans talking about, yeah, we gotta get the number one pick. We just trade Dart and draft Mendoza.
Bro,
Right,
not
but then Geno Smith and the Raiders like, nah, hold my beer.
hold my beer, bro.
You getting that number one pick.
Yep. Said nope. He said, I'm getting out of here. It's so bad I want out.
He's like, I'll sell Mendoza my house right now in Vegas.
He said, bro, I want backup money to not play. He said, I know I ain't got it no more.
Man, but shout out to the Raiders and Fernando Mendoza. Good luck.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hitting Mr. Mendoza with his first hold my beer moment when he gets to NFL.
And you know what's funny though? Because like we talked about this, how like Jared Goff might be like the most like disrespected quarterback in the
Yeah.
league. How all the fans hate him.
Yeah.
But so all the fans keep saying that Jared Goff, like he's not that good. He's just a game manager. Guess who Fernando Mendoza's player comp is?
Jared Goff?
Exactly. So for a
Yeah.
guy that's trash and can't play, all these GMs and scouts want quarterbacks that are just like him.
Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't make no sense. Hold my beer. Hold
Yeah.
my beer.
All right. Next up, we have the LA Chargers at the Denver Broncos. The Chargers are 11-5. Broncos are 13-3. For the Chargers, this game's all about seeding. If they beat Denver, they'll be the 5 seed. If they lose, they'll stay at 6. So for the Chargers, it just depends. Do they want to play Jacksonville or do they want to play the winner of the AFC North? And then for the Broncos, if they win this game, they clinch the number one seed since they have the tiebreaker over New England. The Broncos are 12.5 point favorites. And the reason why the Broncos are 12.5 point favorites is because Trey Lance is expected to start for the Chargers. So that lets you know what Jim Harbaugh thinks about seeding, that he doesn't care. But I think the Broncos, they win this game. They're going to try, they want that number one seed. As far as the point spread, even though Trey Lance is starting, I still think the Chargers cover. But I think the Broncos win because they really want that number one seed. But I think the Chargers cover the 12.5.
I'll be fast. I agree with both of those statements. You go to the next game. I think they win and don't cover Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos, they don't blow nobody out.
Yep.
All right, next up we got the Miami Dolphins 7-9 versus the New England Patriots 13-3. Quinn Ewers looked like he should have been taken in the first round last week against that Tampa Bay defense. He carved that Tampa defense up. Drake May, though, he is now the front runner to win MVP. And New England, again, if New England wins and Denver loses, New England will be the number one seed. Even though New England, they've had some arrests this week with Stephon Diggs and then their defensive tackle, I can't think of his name right now, back to back days. Both of them are charged with assault, so we'll see how that goes. But Patriots are 10.5 point favorites. right now people are giving the Patriots shit too because the Patriots, out of all the playoff teams, the Patriots had the easiest schedule. They only played one team all season with a winning record. That's the Buffalo Bills. But despite that, the Patriots are 13-3. They're 10.5 point favorites to win this game. Mike, what's your thoughts on the Patriots Dolphins?
Um, I got the Pats winning, not covering. I also believe this is my second trap game of the week. It wouldn't surprise me if the Dolphins still win here, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots winning and not covering.
I'm with you. I think the Patriots win. I don't know if part of me wants to say they cover, but since Tua's not starting, maybe Miami finally wins a game in cold weather,
Yeah,
or at least makes it close, and they won't get blown out. We'll see.
yeah,
But I think New England wins because I think they really want that number one seed. And even though they need help, they need Denver to lose. But I think they'll do their job, win this game, and see what happens between the Chargers and Broncos.
yeah.
All right, and then next up we have the New York Jets, 3-13 at the Buffalo Bills, 11-5. Again, just like with the Chargers, the only thing for the Bills is just seeding. If they lose, they'll be the number 7 seed. If they win and the Chargers lose, then the Bills can move up to number 6. So again, it just depends if you're Buffalo, do you want to play the winner of the AFC South, or do you want to possibly play New England again for the third time this season? So we'll see that it is, even though, and also too for the Bills are going to wear their 1990s throwbacks. We get to see them with their red helmets again, which I think is pretty cool. But I'll be quick. I think the Bills win this game and they cover. I don't think the Jets are going to. I think the Jets probably get blown out.
Yeah, I'm gonna call a blowout here. Say the Bills blow them out and cover.
Yeah, I think they blow them out early too, and I think Josh Allen and them sit for the second half.
Agree.
All right, then next up we have the Washington Commanders 4-12 at the Philadelphia Eagles 11-5. Again, this is all about seeding. If Philly wins and Chicago loses, Philly can move up as the number 2 seed. Or if Philly loses or Chicago wins, then Philly is stuck at number 3. But again, I don't think they care about seeding because Tanner McKee is going to get the start. So Eagles fans finally get their quarterback because they've been calling for Jalen Hurts to be benched and for the Eagles to start Tanner McKee. And then Commanders, they feel disrespected because they feel like the Eagles ran up the score on them last time they played when they went for two, even though they were up 29-14 late in the fourth quarter. So the Eagles 11-5, Commanders 4-12. Eagles are 4 point favorites. Josh Johnson will get the start again for the Commanders. Michael, you got in this game.
Um, I got the Commanders winning, pulling the upset. I just think Josh Johnson, what I seen him do last week, obviously different team over there he was playing against, but I there's nothing I've seen from Tanner. Obviously, since he got to the NFL, that tells me he could do anything in this game. So I'm gonna go with the Commanders pulling the upset right here.
Well, for Josh Johnson, first of all, every quarterback looks good against the Cowboys defense this year.
Yeah, I know, but I just it's not just that game. I've seen sprinkles and spurts of him all over the NFL at damn near every team. I just know that he's a capable player when he goes in there. Um, and I don't have faith in Tanner McKee going in there doing anything good.
I don't know what we're gonna get from Tanner McKee. He was the third string quarterback last year. Obviously, he moves up to number 2 because they got rid of Kenny Pickett. So
Yeah,
obviously, they thought enough of him to want to keep him and get rid of Kenny Pickett.
yeah,
Eagles fans, obviously, they've been clamoring for him to be starting. So maybe they think he's good. I don't know. Um, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Commanders win this game because the Eagles are not playing their starters. So I don't think they really care
yeah,
about seeding. And if they're the number 3 seed, then you know, as Rams fans, that's the team we're going to see in the first round.
yeah.
But yeah, I think this game's just kind of whatever. I'm just curious to see what if Tanner McKee, if he's could play, if he could play, that's all I want to see. If he could play, I don't know how good
You think
he can
he
be.
gets the win? What's going on here?
I think he gets the win. I think the Eagles win because they're at home and the Commanders are not that good. But I do see the Commanders covering. I mean, it's only 4 points, but I can see it be like a 3 point game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, what are we on the last game?
Yeah, we're on the last game. This will be for the AFC North. We have the Baltimore Ravens 8-8 at the Pittsburgh Steelers 9-7. The Steelers are 3.5 point underdogs at home. Ravens are favored three by 3.5.
And Lamar's
Lamar
playing.
Jackson will play after missing last week with the back injury.
Yep.
And also for both teams, really, there's rumors that both coaches can get fired. Like the loser of this game can probably get fired after this game. For Pittsburgh, I really don't see it because that goes against their nature. They're a team that does not fire coaches. They've only had like three coaches in their history. I could see not Jim, but John Harbaugh getting fired. He's been there now for 18 years. Maybe it's time for him to hear a new voice. There's also rumors too that him and Lamar Jackson not getting along. So if I'm the Ravens, I'm picking Lamar over the coach, and I think it might be time for a change. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. Me personally, I think Baltimore they win this game and they win the division. I've been saying it all year. The Steelers they've messed this up. You had Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow miss time with injuries, and they never pulled away, and that's why
All they
they're
had to
here.
do was win. All they had to do was win last week, and they lost to the Browns.
Yeah, so I think they lose this game. I think Baltimore gets it, but whoever wins, though, they're gonna be one and done in the playoffs. But I think Baltimore wins this game and they win the AFC North.
I'll be fast. I got Baltimore's the underdog, right? Or they the favorite?
No, Baltimore's the favorite. Steelers the underdog.
How much they favorite by?
3.5.
I got them winning and covering
Same here.
and taking the division. I think it just comes down to Lamar. He's coming back to win this game. He didn't need to. You know, he probably tried to save his coach's job. Maybe they got over it, went out for a bear or something.
Even his coach are not getting along though. Does he even want him back?
Yeah, but maybe they got over it because Lamar's playing when it didn't look like he was gonna. So it looks like he might be trying to save your job. That's just my outside looking in. But with that being said, let me shout out the sponsor and you let them know where to find us. And on to the next one, bro.
All
So
right.
first though, anybody that needs some energy right now, I might need it myself. Scan the QR code, put in the code Mob Squad 508. It'll give you 10% off all your W Energy purchases. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment on the video. It helps out our algorithm. And lastly, follow at Mob Squad 508 and at Inspector Ant on X or Twitter, whatever you're calling it nowadays. But let them know where else to get that audio, bro.
Well, yeah, I might need some W energy to watch the Eagles game. They literally put me to sleep last week,
Yeah.
but hopefully Tanner McKee can keep me awake. And you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spreaker.
And anywhere else you need us to pop up at, let us know so we could get at it.
Right.
Well, listen, happy holidays, everybody. See y'all soon.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Peace.